Hi, this is Matt from tracymatt.co.uk, and here I have the Eten Glofiish X610, which is one of the new devices from Eten. I'm just going to do an unbox for you before we go ahead and get a review underway. We have the device itself sitting right on top in a little bag, as you can see there. We'll come back to that in just a second. Inside the box is another white box which contains all our other accessories. Plug adapter for the UK, a standard USB to mini USB sync and charge cable. There is a case to have a look at. Has a belt loop, as well as a clip, so you can clip it onto your waistband or your belt, and is a magnetic catch design, so you can slip the phone inside. And there's a couple of grills on the back. I guess that's to actually help you hear the phone loudspeaker when it's actually in the case, so nice idea. There's a lanyard strap or wristband style strap so that you can attach it if you want. Charger itself, nothing out of the ordinary, standard mini USB style cable and charger. Set of headphones, or I should say a wired headset, with a 2.5mm 4-pole jack on one end, an inline microphone. There you go, inline microphone, push button and volume control, and then headphones on the other end. Pretty standard stuff, nothing really to write home about there. Getting started guide and what's in the box. Well, if I'd have seen what's in the box, didn't need to do that box. And there we have the Outlook 2007 Trial and Active Sync CD. The spare stylus, which is telescopic style. We'll talk about that when we come to it on the device. And finally, in the box is the battery, which we're going to need, so let's just take that out. And it tells us the capacity is 1530 milliamp hours, so not bad, should give us a little bit of endurance, I would hope. So let's just see how we install that in the back. Back cover slides off and open. It does actually help if you remove the stylus, and the back cover comes off. SIM card socket inside, and the battery pops in, let's see, that way round, and it's got like a little switch there that actually locks it into place, so that's kind of cool, stops the battery falling out. Back cover then goes on the back, and let's pop the stylus back in. That is a telescopic style stylus, quite tight. Not bad as telescopic styluses go, and interestingly it's actually a little bit sticky, so let's just pop that back inside. On the bottom over here we have the USB, mini USB sync charge style cable. It does look like the same sort of connector that we see on HTC devices. It isn't a standard USB, it looks more like a extended or enhanced mini USB. So we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail when we come to do a review. The micro SD card slot is on the bottom, no cover, so that's kind of interesting. I would be a little bit concerned about that as to whether or not the micro SD card will fall out, especially if you drop it. Is that going to fall out? Again, we'll look at that later. On the bottom side we have the 2.5mm socket for the headphones. A couple of soft keys on the side, probably a button for voice notes, what looks like a little reset button hole for pushing with the stylus, and then a volume control rocker. On the top, nothing really apart from an eyelet for connecting like phone charms and lanyards. And then down the other side is your power button, which I guess I'll hold down for a minute and turn the device on. And then a dedicated camera button at the bottom. On the back we have a 2 megapixel camera. If we just take the cover off, As you can see there, 2 megapixel camera, little mirror for being able to take pictures of yourself, and what looks like a mobile light or flash style thing there. Quite a large grill over what looks to be quite a large loudspeaker there as well, so that looks to be quite good. Under the cover on the front then, let's remove the sticker there. A 2.8 inch screen, which is 240 by 320. Let's just remove the stylus and quickly skip through our setup there. Skip next, there we go, and skip this. Okay, I guess I would say it's possibly a little disappointing that this device hasn't got the VGA display. We come to almost expect that from Eten devices lately, but it is QVGA. It's just going through its initial setup and it's asking me to choose which items I want to have installed from album, backup utilities, scenarios, GPS viewer, and there's a few others. So let's just pick none of those so that it starts up as quickly as possible. Wait for that to go through. It's saying installing. While it's doing that, let's just talk about the rest of the spec. It's quad band, supports GPRS and Edge, no HSDPA or 3G apparently. Touchscreen clearly. Micro SD card supports up to 8 gig of SDHC. It's only USB 1.1, not USB 2. Bluetooth 2 with EDR. Has built-in Wi-Fi 802.11b and G. Has a built-in FM radio with RDS. 400 MHz CPU, 128 meg of ROM, seems a bit light, and only 64 meg of RAM. I won't go on about that as I always do. Weighs only 138 grams, so quite lightweight considering the size. It does look a bit chunky to me, a little bit square. If we compare that to, say, the HTC Diamond, you can see it's similar length, top to bottom, a little bit narrower on the Diamond's a little bit narrower. It's a bit thinner, but Diamond just seemed like a whole different device, well, which it really is clearly. Still waiting for that to finish doing its installation because it's apparently installing the dialer skins. It's installing SPB mobile shell, which is pretty much standard on Eten devices now. They've obviously gone into partnership with SPB. On the front here we have standard Windows keys for sending in phone keys. Dedicated GPS button which can be customized to bring up your GPS application, a home or back button there. D-pad style navigation, up, down, left, right obviously, and then there's an individual button in the center for the push button for the kind of action button. Still waiting for Task Manager to install there. Okay, so after a quick reboot we see that it's actually come up with the mobile shell, which gives us a number of features, including a screen there with a number of icons for our regularly used applications, and then organizer, internet, multimedia, tools, program settings, phone dialer, which has all of our most recently used and favorites in there, and then we can exit out of that to go back to the main Windows mobile screen. I didn't choose to install any of the additional features on there, but there is a GPS tab, which I guess would be populated with other bits and pieces should we choose to install them. Task Manager, which will probably be a bit like the HTC Task Manager, Windows Live, those sorts of things. You can see actually there, comment on that is the fact that the screen is completely flush at the front. Again, most of the devices are coming out like that now, so it's a lot easier to use just your finger rather than a stylus on the screen. The screen does feel quite soft. I think you'd probably scratch that fairly quickly. So you probably want to put a screen protector over that if you're going to be using it, certainly if you're going to start using your fingers on it all the time. We're going to obviously use it over the next couple of weeks and have a review online, which will be on site soon.